WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A manhunt is underway at this hour after a Tupelo police officer was shot and killed during a bank robbery this afternoon. A press conference is underway now. We will join that live in progress.
For any information leading to the arrest and apprehension of the criminals who committed these terrible acts, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-773-8477 or locally at 841-6491. I commend Chief Bart and the Tupelo Police Department for their bravery today and thank the Lee County Sheriff's Department for their unwavering support. I also want to thank the Mississippi Highway Patrol, Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, U.S. Marshal Service, and the FBI, who is now in charge of the investigation. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, Daniel. Thank you again. Just ask the community for any assistance that you may have. Please keep the family of this fallen officer in your thoughts and prayers, and your continued support for the Tupelo Police Department and the City of Tupelo. That concludes this conference at this time. Thank you.
Now, you were just looking live there at Tupelo City Hall, where Mayor Jason Shelton and the FBI released a few new details, and that being that the suspect is possibly injured, possibly left-handed, and also has a unique accent and driving a dark-colored sedan. Now, we'll continue to follow this. Now, police have released a number of photos of the suspect. You're looking at it now. This is surveillance video from the Bancorp South that was robbed about 3:15 this afternoon on South Gloucester. You can clearly see a gun in his hand. Police say the robber is a black male, somewhere around the 6 feet range. He was wearing a hoodie and also khaki pants there. And WCBI's Alyssa Martin brings us the very latest on this investigation.
It all began around 3:15 when this heavily armed suspect walked into a bank on South Gloucester and demanded money. Tupelo police responding to the call confronted the suspects.
The suspects immediately jumped out of the vehicle and began firing at our officers. Two of our officers were struck. A citizen picked up the mic of one of those police officers and called in an officer down call. We knew that we had officers that had been involved in a shooting.
38-year-old Gail Stauffer was taken to the hospital where he died a short time later. He had been a corporal with the Tupelo Police Department since 2005. The second officer, who is not being identified, is listed in critical condition. Witnesses say the suspects fled the scene on Carnation Street in a gray Dodge Stratus. Police from a multitude of agencies converged on the scene, blocking nearby streets, searching for suspects.
Speaking on behalf of the Sheriff's Department, I can assure the citizens of Tupelo and Lee County that we will exhaust all means to bring these people to justice.
A $50,000 reward is now being offered in the investigation. Police are hoping that this will encourage someone with new information to come forward to get the suspects off the streets. In Tupelo, I'm Alyssa Martin, WCBI News.
Now, we do have new information in that a reward for information leading to an arrest has been increased to $100,000. Bancorp South is matching a previous $50,000 reward. Now, the shooting happened during the middle of the afternoon on a busy stretch of South Gloucester. Starkville resident Joe Evans and family members were going north on Gloucester when the whole ordeal began. He shared his accounts with us earlier this evening.
Three Tupelo police cars came southbound from the intersection and sort of split off. One pulled maybe interstate cars in front of us, and I alongside of him, and then the other two came behind us and pulled over, and both of those officers got out of their cars and moved around their cars, and then I alongside of them, and then they came back around and I heard shots being fired. And at that point, my wife and my sister-in-law put their heads down and I started looking for a way out, so I pulled into the oncoming lane and pulled off down a side street. And as I pulled off, I was able to see the two officers on the ground. I did not see the assailants at all.
Again, that was Starkville resident Joe Evans, who witnessed the shooting this afternoon in Tupelo. Now, Corporal Stauffer was known and loved by many people throughout northeast Mississippi. The 38-year-old U.S. Army veteran was married and had 2 children. This evening, police and city officials and others gathered at Tupelo City Hall for a press briefing. Lee County Coroner Carolyn Green went to church with Stauffer, was good friends with his wife, and says the police officer loved his family and his job.
A family man. If he wasn't working, he was with his family, and he was an Iraqi veteran, very proud American. I mean, if you were on his Facebook page, you saw that. You saw pictures of him and his kids and his wife, and a very jovial person. Not one of the, you have different personalities in law enforcement, but he was always very jovial and fun-loving and just very fun to be around.
Stauffer is the son of Debbie Brandenburg, director of the Downtown Tupelo Main Street Association. And again, here's another look at the bank robbery suspect. A reminder, investigators are looking for a dark-colored sedan that could have been shot and have numerous damage from the shooting, and that is possibly involved in this crime. Also, we want to mention another officer was shot and injured during this bank robbery today, a 26-year-old officer who has not been identified. He remains in critical condition tonight. Again, if you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.
WCBI First Alert Weather Forecast.